If you're like me, you're still recuperating from the first and second rounds of the NCAA tournament. There were huge upsets. We've also got our Cinderella team in St. Peter shocking the world out of New Jersey. And now we're on to the Sweet 16. Welcome into Court Vision. I'm Chelsea Sherrod, joined by Scott Spinelli, former interim head coach at Boston College. Coach, my bracket was busted early in the first round, and then the second round came, and then I just threw it away. Coach, what was the most shocking upset that you saw between the first and second rounds?
Well, we have to talk about St. Peter's over Kentucky, right? I mean, a 2 seed losing, obviously Kentucky losing to a 15 seed. And I don't think a lot of people gave St. Peter's a chance in that game. And it really was kind of fun to watch a team like St. Peter's who really competes. They really get after defensively. Their tallest guy on paper is 6'8", but for the most part, they're a team that plays bigger. They're one of the top shot blocking teams in the country. But what a sensational game that was for them to come back after going down late and winning in overtime.
Absolutely. Also, being from Connecticut, I was disappointed to see that New Mexico State upset over UConn, and also North Carolina upsetting Baylor in the second round. That was nuts. All right, on to the Sweet 16, Coach. Just one New England school remains, Providence, taking on Kansas. Coach, when you look at these matchups in the Sweet 16, who do you think will have the biggest challenge to get past the Sweet 16, and who do you think has the best chances of advancing?
Well, first of all, I think Duke right now has a really challenging bracket because right now they're going to have to play Texas Tech, who is a team that is very stingy defensively. They really, really guard the basketball. They force everything to one side. And for Duke to have to beat Texas Tech, they're really going to have to shoot the three ball well, which again, at times this year, especially in Duke's losses, that's been a constant. They haven't shot it as well in some of those games that they've lost. And then if they win that game, they're on a collision course to play Gonzaga, the #1 overall seed. Those two teams played early in the season. It was a really good game. But again, if they're going to have to get to the Final Four and send Coach K off here with a storybook ending, they've got a really tough 2-game series here this weekend.
Okay, and who do you think has the best chances of advancing, Coach, in the Sweet 16 or past the Sweet 16?
Well, I tell you what, Villanova, we talked about this team, Chelsea, throughout this whole Court Vision series. And I think you and I are both probably on the same page with this, in that Villanova's culture and how they've kind of built their program within, with those kids coming up from their freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year. Obviously, Daniels is one kid who's a transfer, but you really appreciate that. That's what college basketball is all about, right? And to see a team like that, and I'm sure a lot of those kids on campus, their classmates who are familiar with those players, are rooting them on. And I think sometimes with college basketball, especially now with the NIL and the transfer portal, it's commercialized. It's become more of a business. And Villanova is what college basketball to me is all about. And I think, again, you can't help but root for them.
Absolutely. Villanova, a very poised team and very consistent. I know that all of New England, though, will be rooting for Providence taking on Kansas in the Sweet 16, which starts on Thursday, and the Elite Eight tips off on Saturday. Coach, we will check back in with you next Tuesday. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, Chelsea. Good seeing you.
You too.